Welcome back to In Your Neighborhood. I'm your host, Charlotte Brown, and on today's show, we've been talking with the Thunder Bay Multicultural Association. My guest today has been Nina Lamba, and Nina is the settlement co-coordinator. And I'd love to talk about some of the specific programs that you run over at Thunder Bay Multicultural Association. And your area is, of course, settlement services. So maybe we could talk about some of those.
Thank you, Charlotte, for having me again. And yes, I have been in settlement work almost 19 years now. And going to be 20 years in next year, so 2018. Yeah, so I can't even imagine that I've been there for, that was supposed to be a temporary job, and I'm still there. It means I like it.
Now, you've probably welcomed a lot of people to Canada and to Thunder Bay.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the clients actually today, just now, and he says, "You're still here?" I said, "I'm still here," and I helped him when he landed, like 2 days after he got in a temporary hostel, and at that time, Villa Jones was a person who was sponsorship from Grey Presbyterian Church, First Presbyterian Church, and Villa Jones is passed away now, but her daughter owns like a hostel, and this client lived there for a couple of days. So I just met him. He's becoming a Canadian citizen. He's writing the test today.
Wow.
So yeah, settlement starts from the day they come till the day they become Canadian, and after they become Canadian also sometimes they need help because we brought it up that they bring family members. If their kids are left at home or their wife is still at home and they came as a student, or they came on work visa and they are already PR and they've been accepted by immigration. So then they want to bring the other members of the family, whether it will be a spouse, whether it be a husband, whether it be a parent, whether it be a child that left home, right? Whatever the reason may be. And many Chinese families also, sometimes they just come as PR themselves. They want to establish themselves first, make sure they have a house and a place to live, and they're working easily and comfortably, making financially good to sponsor the member of the family. So settlement is a process from, I think, anywhere from 1 to 10 years actually, but for most of the people it is about 4 to 6 years.
Okay, so you really get to know people.
We get to know people
so
inside out.
You're helping with paperwork?
Yes.
You're helping with even finding a home to begin with?
Yes, so finding place they have to live, and then finding a place for their children, for the school zone, because everything is school zone here, so that sometimes they don't know, oh, I want to send my child to so and so school. The bus doesn't go there, right? So they don't know the school buses are available, or we have to call the school for that.
Yeah. What about even doing your tax return or Canadian taxes? Very different, right?
Yes. So that's another income tax return we do every year. It's free for people who are below low income. So the LICO, which is cut off, low income cut off for government according to Revenue Canada. So we go on that and see number of members of the family. Based on that, if the income is below, we do income tax for those. So that is free. Even for Canadians, it's free. So of course, it's for immigrants and refugees free for sure. So that is always in March break because somebody can come that time.
Yes.
We do citizenship today. Right now, we are having which I was telling you, the client who I met first time in 2 days after he landed. He's becoming Canadian today, and I met him 10 years back, but he was trying to establish himself, study and all. And so this is the book we cover. In planning to pay people to become Canadian, they have to go through this Discover Canada, and we run classes for that. We run classes called citizenship preparation classes, and it's twice a year. And this is once they have been here at least 4 years.
Right.
The new rule is 4 years. At one time it was, till last year it was 3 years. So now it is 4 years out of the 6 years they have to be here. And if they left Canada to back at home or any other city for traveling out of country, like US and all, those many days get deducted.
Oh wow, okay.
So they have to wait so many days more after 4 years to add on those days, like 2 years, 2 months, how long they've been away.
Right, and that's an actual exam that you write to get your citizenship.
Yeah, so today is going on at my office. So
wonderful.
That's how I remember. I saw like 6 clients today in the morning before I came here who I helped over last 4 years.
Wow, that's awesome.
So it's good to see. Yeah.
And I'm sure language is a big one as well. So you do some work with language instruction. There's a link program. So maybe we can talk a little bit about that.
So when a newcomer comes, right? So if they have not, let us say, if they're not skilled worker, if they are family class and the language is a barrier, they cannot speak English very well. So we provide language instructions. But before they can go to a school which is called Link School, is language instructions to newcomers to Canada. It's called LINK. So that school is not possible till they get their language assessed. So the language assessor is one person named Maggie in my office. So she will do the assessment for that person, and then once the language is assessed, at what language benchmarks they have, like level 0 to 6 and 7, that's the language benchmark mostly in our school we have the students. So once they are assessed, then they are put in the proper class and that respective level they belong to. So we have right now 4 teachers which call language teachers in the language school. So that is who provide language instructions, and besides that, if they are going to school but they need extra help, there comes another program called Community Connection. So there is a lady named Linda who does Community Connection. So she does English Conversation Circle, and that is done in the library, or at one time we will also provide help one-to-one depending upon what they are needing the instruction for. If it's only for preparing school, they need only 1 month intensity classes and English conversations, so we'll do that one-to-one help. But mostly it is in a public place, in a library, or in some kind of area where they can use the services by free rental place. So that's a good partnership we have with the library, right? So Linda does that, and we provide, besides information, our program is called settlement, right? So information, referral, and orientation. So these are the 3 things we call it IOR: information, orientation, and referral.
Right.
So any program which is done in our office, whether it is language, whether it is community connection, whether it is referring to other partners which are not in our office. Let us say the kid is in the school now, well settled, now they are doing well in the school, and now they need something for evening. Pro Kids is another partnership we give with the city. So it's a positive recreation program, is run by the city, and Laura Danielle is a Pro Kids in charge. So she works very well. If we send a referral to her, she will never say no to our clients.
Right.
So that is great thing.
I'd like to mention maybe where you're located. So a lot of the classes and most things takes place at the Multicultural Association, and I know we haven't mentioned where you're located yet. So if people want to drop by or contact the office, what's the best way?
So people who have not been to our office, they should be able to know that it's a red brick building. It's a very clear building. I'm sure it is in this pamphlet here, you can see here. But if you cannot, it is located on 17 North Court Street. It's an old fire hall building. It used to be a fire hall, and still we have the old arch doors, big doors at the front of the building. And the offices are on the 2nd floor, but the classes are run in the main floor. So we have 3 classes downstairs, and now we are going to have another iterant location. I think they are, Kathy was talking, my ED executive director was talking about a church, and I don't know the name of the church. So I think Michelle Maness person will be going to talk about more about the school if she knows about the places where they're going to do it. But it's going to be one more extra class going to be in the church group, because we cannot host all the students in our building.
Right.
So the numbers are increasing.
Yeah.
So that is 17 North Court Street. And if you're not sure, if you cannot remember, just call Thunder Bay Multicultural on Google, and it'll give you the address, and you can call 345-0551 to get the location.
Wonderful. Well, thanks, Nina. We are out of time. We're going to save that 3rd segment to talk with Michelle about some of the youth programs over there at the Thunder Bay Multicultural Association. But I want to thank you for being on the show and your 20 years of service of welcoming people to Thunder Bay and to Canada. I can tell you love what you do.
I love what I do, and I think that's why I'm there where I am right now.
Wonderful. But we're going to put the website on the screen, which is thunderbay.org, that if people are looking for more information, if you know somebody that could use the services of the Multicultural Association, that's absolutely what they're there for.
Yes.
And we'll be right back with more on In Your Neighborhood.
Thank you, Shala. Thank you for having me, and thank you for giving this opportunity for me to talk about my office work and also about my settlement. I'm really happy to be here.
Wonderful.